It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. First carry for Najee Harris. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now a give, running left is Harris. Pushes him over. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big pickup there on the run. Anyone who watched Najee Harris at Alabama knows the kind of strength that this guy runs with, and he's continuing on that path here at the next level.
Yeah, and this could be a sign of what this defense is in for, because you know all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him, or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the Lions who got the road victory in that one, so they'll be looking to claim the season series now here at home in Detroit. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is fielded at the 27. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Second and 4. Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Second down, they go right back to Cook.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. And now we see Bryant yet to pop up. Still down following that play. We'll check on his status when we get back. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cook.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Give to Cook out of the gun. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. He'll look to throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson.
His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Michael Badgley on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Vikings 7, Lions 0. Mike Badgley set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away.
Very short kick taken right at the 20. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now back to throw. Fighting through pressure. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Trey Hendrickson. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big play there for Detroit. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll try the right side with Harris. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll drop to throw. That's to Cook out of the backfield. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second and 9. He'll drop to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cook. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Second and 14. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Cook following the penalty. And past the 30 down to about the 27.
Second and 3. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll set up to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
They'll run with Cook. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
2nd and 6.
Escaping the pressure right. Touchdown, Vikings!
Justin Jefferson
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
That swung out wide to Harris.
And he'll get it down here to the 43.
Well, this offense will definitely utilize him as a weapon out of the backfield because he was close to 100 yards receiving a week ago. So they will try to get him the football in space as they did right there.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They hand this off to Harris, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
Badgley on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll look to throw here. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off right around the 43. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question, because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And that'll set him back 5. Back to throw here. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Second and 13. Off to Cook. Touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow, because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half.
Michael Badgley set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. He lets it fly for Lockett. And my goodness, another interception. picked by Kevin Byard. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
59, Mike. Check, 59. Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on. Check 59, Mike. Mike is 59.
They'll set up a throw. This will be caught. It's Samuel.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
59. Mike 50. Mike 60. All day, baby, all day.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. A nice display of powerful running, but it takes him only to the 7. He's dropped there. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Badgley able to knock this one through, and that will do it. We hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone.
And this will not be a good return. He's out of bounds at the 12. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue.
Fighting through, and he's got space. He's at the 50, the 30, 10. Touchdown, Vikings.
Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after.
And he spins past him and into space. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
54 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
But we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit. But how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations. And we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. He'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 21.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another 1st down as well.
Check safety.
They run with Harris. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
They'll look to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Mike's 59. Mike's 59. No, you're jumping. Yellow. Shit.
They run it again with Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
139 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down.
Check 50. Mike is 59. Mike the 59. And we heavy on the edges. Heavy on the edges.
Mike 5'9". Mike 5'9".
Here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Cook. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Let's go, baby.
The tackle by Jack Okuda. A gain of 14. 1st down, Minnesota.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
I'm coming after you. Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike the 59. You're not ready. You're not ready.
They run. Cook. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. A give. This is Cook. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Vikings on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
57's Mike.
Go, go, go.
Handoff comes to Cook. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Let's go. 33. Pillow. Here we go. Here we go.
Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Vikings look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more.
Mike Badgley set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious.
And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
He's going to air one out. And this is caught. A big play there for Detroit.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that 0. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
36.
Harris. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Najee Harris with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Lions are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Extra point right down the middle as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're in control here as they start 1st and 10 and appearing to have righted the ship following that 2-game losing streak. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 191 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Now Cook. Cook with a 1st down and much more. And some room to roam now. And down to the 29-yard line. A big play there out of the running game.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Mike 5'9". Mike 5'9".
Watch the run.
On 1st down, Cook. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Down to the 25. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. Now a run with Cook. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Badgley's kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the made field goal, Badgley back out there for the kickoff. Lockett the return. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now.
And now off to the races down the right side. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
Like my old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Second and 7.
Here we go. 2 times.
Again, it's Cook. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being.
So for the Vikings, it may not be too late to salvage their season as the win moves them to 2-5 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts.